in this epic Valley of Elah. The Philistines are camped up there on that hill, and the Israelites are camped on this hill. Behind the Israelites are all the hill country going back up to Hebron and Bethlehem, where David and his brothers come from. The Philistines are up here really trying to encroach on Israelite territory, all of their lands behind us. So, of course, they have pitched battle here between the two sides, but the Philistines have chosen a certain approach that's used in the ancient world, where you select a champion to represent the whole army. And the champion will challenge any other champion from the other side. And so this goes on for weeks. While David's coming in to visit his brothers in the camp, he's going to find out that the Goliath comes down every day and stands out here and challenges and taunts the Israelite army. And they're all afraid. So you can think of this as the Valley of Fear and also as the Valley of Faith. David listens to what Goliath's saying. And there's something that's running through David's mind when Goliath really mocks not only the Israelite army, but he's really mocking their God. He's mocking their king, he's mocking their army, but he's mocking the Hebrew people and the God that they worship. So David has a certain amount of courage and faith to confront Goliath. When he volunteers to Saul, his brothers don't appreciate it, but Saul also says, "You're not really fit for battle." And he offers him his armor. But something in David's response will help you take this story from being a simple, maybe Sunday school type story, and take it into real life. David says to Saul, "I've killed a lion and a bear before, and when I do, I've done it with my bare hands. I will take on this giant because he's taunting the Lord of the Hebrews." And so David decides to shed all of Saul's armor, and what he takes with him is actually his own form of weaponry. He does take his staff, but he has a slingshot, and David will come down into this valley here. This is a natural valley where there's water flowing through, and David's going to choose some stones. Now we know because slingers in the ancient world were just like archers. They were a form of military, and David was apparently very good at what he did when he was in the wilderness with his flocks. So I want you to look around and think about what size stones David might have used. Maybe you think about a small stone like this that might have cut into Goliath's forehead. Some of them look too big. Probably, based on what we have in museums now, you can look at them. Probably the sling stone was something like the size of I would say a racquetball, between a racquetball and a baseball. And David chose 5 of them to be ready to take on Goliath. There's a certain strategy in what David does. There's a certain experience in what he does. But there's also what you might call chutzpah, because his faith is really grounded in the God who will restore his own name. So it's a story about honor. And when David fights the Philistine, David's accuracy comes out of his experience. But the fact that he's gone into this valley to face a giant who has incredible armor on, David may really only have one shot, even though he has 5 stones. He may only have one shot to take him down, because Goliath will come towering over him. And the Israelites are ready to run away that way, but instead they actually chase the Philistines the other way. So this is just one of those epic battles that takes place in the Shvelah, in these valleys of faith and also valleys of failure in other times.